Hey everyone, David Coe at the Core Real Estate Group. Hey, one of the most misconceptions that our clients have when they're buying a property is that if I am submitting an offer, I am going to be buying that house. Well, really, that's not true. If you're submitting an offer, what you're really doing is trying to take the property off the market and give yourself the opportunity to do your due diligence to determine whether or not you want to buy that house. Getting a property locked up in escrow basically is a relationship between the buyer and the seller, whereas the buyer, you're putting a certain amount of money, usually standard, it's about 3% of the purchase price into escrow in exchange for the seller not selling that house to someone else. And when you're in escrow, there's really five key things that you're doing in your investigations as a buyer to determine whether or not that's the house that you want to buy. So the first thing is you want to make sure that the actual person selling the property is the legal owner, right? So you have a title contingency where you can go through and make sure that that property is owned by the person that's selling it. And more importantly, there's not a cloud on title, right? A tax lien, a mechanics lien, or something that would prohibit you from either buying the property because your bank won't give you a loan, or sometimes even more importantly, prevent you from buying it and then inheriting the seller's liens or any other type of liabilities they may have against that. The number two is you can do an inspection on all the disclosures that the seller tells you, right? So the seller is going to tell you everything they know about the property. They're also going to provide you a natural hazard disclosure. If there's an HOA, they're going to disclose to you all of the rules and regulations around the HOA. And for some reason, if you read something in your investigations that would change your opinion on buying the property, you have the right to cancel and get that deposit back. Same thing on the title, right? If you see something on the title report that would prevent you from purchasing the property, you have the right to cancel and get your deposit back. So the third thing is probably the biggest one, which is your property investigations. This is when you're going to do a property inspection. Maybe inspect the sewer, maybe inspect the chimney, maybe inspect it for mold or any type of waterborne or airborne pathogens. Termite inspections, anything that you see that you would want to do to make sure that the property is in good shape, or even if it isn't, making sure you're aware of what flaws the property may have, so you have the right to either go back and renegotiate and ask for a credit because of those things, or you have the right to cancel and get your deposit back. The fourth one is the appraisal, right? Most banks require an appraisal, and for some reason, if you buy a property for $1 million or put it in escrow for $1 million, and an appraisal comes back and it's only worth $950, that $50,000 has to be accounted for by either you, the buyer, putting in an extra $50,000 in cash, or the seller reducing the price $50,000, or some combination of the two, or you have the right to cancel and get back your money. And then last, and probably almost as important as your investigations, is making sure that you have a loan, right? So you have the right to go with your lender. Just because you got pre-qualified or pre-approved doesn't mean you're fully approved for that loan. Most transactions, the buyer will have a contingency where they can submit all their documentation to the bank. And if for some reason the bank won't give them the loan that they said they would be able to get when they submitted the offer, then the buyer has an opportunity to cancel escrow and get their deposit back. So those are really five key things that you have as a buyer when you're in escrow. There's other things that happen, but it all kind of boils down to investigating those five key elements. Hopefully that was helpful. If there's any questions you have about the buying process of a home, we'd love to talk to you. Please give myself or someone from the team a call. David Coe, the Core Real Estate Group. Hope you're doing well and hope to talk to you soon.